So here is how much I've made on Amazon Mechanical Turk over the last few years, just doing it part-time, logging on when I wanted to, not really doing it as a full-time job. I personally have a full-time job outside of Amazon Mechanical Turk, but you can actually utilize it as a full-time income. My total earnings over the years has been $5,079.20, as you can see on the screen, and then you can see it broke down by years. A lot of that was in 2018. As I was busy with my children in other years and didn't focus on it as much. But it is not another survey scam where you make pennies on a dollar. You can actually make some real money. I'm going to show you step by step my actual process of how I find hits and how I make the most out of my earnings and maximize how much I can make. If you're interested in finding out my exact process, just keep watching. Welcome, I'm Lindsay, just a single mom trying to raise two teenagers the best she can. I post weekly videos on a little bit of everything lifestyle on a budget, of course, because I'm a single mom. So please subscribe to my channel if you would like to be notified of future videos that I post. Now let's get into it. So what exactly is Amazon Mechanical Turk, also known as Mturk? It is a platform that Amazon runs where people who have jobs, small tasks that they need completed, such as surveys for research projects or AI learning, like identify was this word spoken in this video, all kinds of different small tasks that they have that they need someone to complete. They're called requesters. They can sign up for the program and they can add their task on, and then workers, which is what you would sign up to be, can get on and complete the task. The tasks are called hits. Now there's two different types of tasks. There is a one-time task and there's called batch tasks. One-time tasks are more like surveys. You take surveys. A lot of universities post surveys and they only want each person to take it one time so that they can collect a lot of data for their research projects. And then there's called batch hits. Now what batch hits are things that you can do multiple of back to back to back. So some batch hits may only take 2 or 3 seconds to do and may only pay 5 cents each, but you can do a whole lot of them. So say I do 100 of the task in 20 minutes, that's 100 times 5 cents each. You kind of get the point. Now with Amazon Mechanical Turk, it is just like having a job. For United States-based people, there are two different payout options for the money that you make. There's direct deposit to your bank account, or you can have it added to your Amazon balance and your Amazon gift card balance, and then you can use it to purchase products on Amazon. Now, I always just have it direct deposited to my bank account, and then I can use my debit card to decide where I want to spend my money. Maybe I want to pay a bill with it. Maybe I decide I want to shop on Amazon. Maybe I decide I want to go to Walmart. So I always have mine direct deposited, but you don't have to use your money on Amazon. Other countries do have different options, so depending on what country you're in, if you're not United States based, you may not have the direct deposit option. Now, one thing I did want to talk about right quick is your first 10 days. When you first sign up to Amazon Mechanical Turk or Mturk, you have a 10-day trial period. And what that means is you can only complete up to 100 tasks a day for the first 10 days. You also cannot get a payout in your first 10 days. Once you have gotten past your first 10 days, you can do, the limit is raised. You can do, I think it's somewhere in the thousands. I've never hit the limit. It's a lot of tasks. And you can choose your payout option, especially if you're doing direct deposit or with the Amazon gift card balance. They have options of every 3 days, every 7 days, every 14 days, or every 30 days. So you get to choose how often you want to get paid out, and you can go in at any time and update that. So thank you so much for hanging with me through the brief overview. If you are still with me, here is where we get into the meat and potatoes of how to actually make money on Amazon Mechanical Turk. So there are things called scripts that I use and utilize the functionality of to make the most from money. If you just want to find hits that are currently available, you can click this little, whoops, sorry, I hit the wrong thing. You can click this hits tab at the top of the window, and these are the hits currently available. But I actually rarely ever come into this task list and find tasks to do. There's a much better way to do it to find high paying tasks, and I'm about to show you. I will link everything in the description below so that you can go and download everything, but there's two main things you need. You're going to need MTS or Mturk Suite, and that is a Chrome extension, so as long as you're using the Google Chrome browser, you can download that. And then the other one I use is called Panda Crazy. Now, Panda Crazy works off of a Chrome extension called Tamper Monkey. So to get Panda Crazy, you first need to install the Chrome extension Tamper Monkey, and then you can install the Panda Crazy. This is how I set up my desktop. I leave my dashboard open, and if you can see up here in the top window, I have my MTS Chrome extension activated. And if you just click this, it will show you your worker ID that you can quickly copy, because you won't need that for a lot of hits, so that they can track the money back to you and pay you accordingly. And then you can also set goals, and you can see how much you've made today, how much you've made this week, how much you've made this month, and it kind of calculates an hourly rate. So I've spent an hour and 42 minutes actually working on hits, and I made $20.11 in that time for this month. So that brings down to $11.73 an hour. Now on this Mturk Suite, if you right click, it brings up a menu. You have the Mturk Suite, which is the screen we just looked at. You have Launch Finder, Launch Catcher, Launch Tracker, and this is Change Log Issues. This is where the extension gets updated by the developers. I use these three the most: Finder, Catcher, and Tracker. Now for my process, I first open Catcher, and it looks like this. And then my next process, when you have everything set up, I have a link in my toolbar for Panda Crazy, but I will open Panda Crazy in a new tab. I will open Panda Crazy in a new window. And so that's why I have this window not sized to full screen. So this is my main setup that I use. I have my dashboard, I have Catcher open, and I have Panda Crazy open. So once I have all those open, finding tasks is really easy. I find tasks in two different ways. There's an online forum that I joined that I am a part of, and there's people on there that post tasks that they find that pay really good all day long, and they post links to those tasks. The links are clickable, and you can click the link and it will go straight into Panda Crazy, and then I can copy the job ID associated with that and paste that into Catcher. I always have my Panda Crazy and my Catcher trying to catch the same task at one time, because both of them working together, sometimes one will catch it and sometimes the other one will catch it. So I put the task that I want to catch or work on in both. And then also, while I'm waiting to catch tasks, I will use the Finder. Finder refreshes and tries to find, refreshes the hit, it refreshes this hit screen like every 2 or 3 seconds, and it can grab tasks and give you the links to them to put in Catcher and in Panda Crazy. Because the problem is, if you don't utilize this process, as soon as a poster posts new hits on this hit tab, you can see maybe this person only wants 56 people to do it, or this person only wants 615 responses. And people are always on here grabbing it. So if you're not the first 600 people with like a lottery, then you miss out on that. And that's where putting the links in the Catcher and Panda Crazy, so when they come back up, it'll grab it for you and put it into your work queue. And on your dashboard here, you can see queue. And anything catcher or panda crazy grabs, it will stick in this queue and you can just come in here and work. So sometimes they'll be going off and grabbing stuff as I'm working on a hit, and so when I finish that hit I can just move on to the next thing, and that's how you make money. You don't make $1 and then you have to sit here wasting 30 minutes waiting for something else to happen. You continuously have things coming in that you can work on. What we'll do now is right click on this again and launch Finder, and then you just hit the Start Finder button. You can see it refreshes all the time, and sometimes it refreshes so fast that I actually have to hit the stop button. And look at this. So if you're trying to find tasks using Finder, you can start and stop it refreshing anytime that you want to. So let's stop it for a minute and look at what we have. So these are all highlighted in red, which means, and you can see the red bars over here, which means other people have worked these tasks and rated them not very good to work on. I try to stay within the yellow and green. So if you are qualified for the task, you can, these O or M's, and let me just show you one. Here is a decision study, 50-cent base, and then $2.50 bonus for completion. This takes 18 minutes, but you can make up to $3. So there's these O and M buttons here. Click the O button. It puts it into your catcher for you. And you can see down here in Panda Crazy, we have a queue down here. It has already called it for us. So that is why this is no longer running. And then I can just delete this. And if you come over here to your dashboard, you see that this is in my queue for me to work, and there's a timer. There's different requesters set different timers. This requester wants you to do it within 60 minutes. If this timer runs out, this disappears from your queue and you cannot submit it for payment. So that is how Finder works. So you can sit here and start and stop while you're waiting on it to catch things, and continue to hit the O buttons, which is once. M is multiple. So if it's a survey and you only want to catch one of them because you can only complete one, you only want to hit the O button. If it is a batch hit and you can complete multiple and you want it to catch you multiple, you hit the M button for multiple. So that is how this Finder works. The last step that I do is the forum, but the web address is forum.turkreview.com, and you can sign up for an account. And once you sign up for an account, this is an online forum. You can actually find Mturk scripts and resources, help guides. There's a section for requesters if you are posting jobs. But the section I use is they have a daily hit thread, and that is where they post all the good hits at. And you can see the dates. Every day they have a new one, and you can go back through the old hit threads. But like today is Friday, February 19th. So I will click into this, and you can start at page 1 if you want to and go all the way to page 19. But they start this early in the morning. You can see this was at 3:17 a.m. my time, and it's currently 12:18. Most of these tasks may not be available or may not be easy for me to catch. So let me go to some of the last pages here, and I'll show you how I use this. So there's different formats in this forum in the way that they post things, but you can just sit here and read through them and decide which ones that you are interested in. So this person, the requester, is Daniel Efron, rating news headlines that say it takes about 10 minutes. It pays 92 cents. And people can actually review these when they post them. So this guy said it paid out instantly, but it was underpaid. It took him 9 minutes and 15 seconds to complete this. So 10 minutes for $1, that would be about a $6 an hour hourly rate. I may not want to choose this one to actually work. It also gives you a catchability score, which it says it's a great chance of us catching it because this was last seen 2 seconds ago. And then it also lists the qualifications that you need to be able to do this task. Now, some of these qualifications, like you need greater than 100 approved hits to be eligible for this one. Now, if you go back to my dashboard for a minute, my approved hits are 32,670, so I'm qualified for this. Sometimes you will not know if you're qualified at all. I add it. Hit Catcher will stop trying to catch it if it catches it and you're not qualified. Panda Crazy will stop trying to catch it and will turn purple to let you know that you're not qualified. So I just add things, and then if I'm not qualified and I can't catch it, it won't catch something that you're not qualified to do, I guess is my point to that. So let's see, this UPenn Researcher, it's a behavior study. They estimate it takes about 15 minutes. It pays $1.50. It's a great catchability, and this guy did it in only 7 minutes and 36 seconds, which gave him an hourly rate of $11.84. So say this is one I want to work on. What I'll do when these are posted, you can see that there's buttons up here. There's Panda, Once, and Search. So I'll hit the Once button, and you can see this little pop-up pops up, and you can see right here, UPenn Researcher has been added to my Panda Crazy, and it is currently searching for it. You can see the search number going up here, trying to collect it. And it collected it. But had it not collected it, what I would do is hit this Details button, and you can see the group ID. Now, the requester ID is if you want to catch anything that requester posts. The group ID is this specific hit or task ID. So normally, once I add it to Panda Crazy, while it's trying to collect, I will hit Details. I will copy this group ID, and then I will just cancel out of this screen. And then I will go over here to my catcher screen. I will hit this Create button, and in this ID field, I will hit Paste. This will bring up all the information. This is a UPenn Researcher hit. Catchability is okay, gives you all the information, and you hit Save. And now you can see this attempts 4, 5, and you can see this going up right here. Catcher is also trying to catch the same hit. So that is my secret weapon, is I use Panda Crazy and Catcher at the same time to be more able to catch the hit. That is basically how you use the forum and Finder together to catch the hit. So now we can see my queue is queued up with $2 worth of work with a $2.50 bonus. So now I have basically $4.50 worth of work just sitting here, and I can work this. All right, so let's work through this hit together. And this just gives you information screen. In this study, you'll be asked to find the typo in a series of passages. There's one typo in each passage. There's 10 passages total. These typos consist of a word with a missing letter. For example, a passage could have a typo of DG instead of dog. For each passage, you will not be able to advance until you find the error. On the next pages, we'll show you 2 examples. Okay. Now, my hourly rate will be going down for this because I am stopping to actually explain and film this video. This is another script that I will link in the description, the link to. I have what's called an hourly rate tracker, and what it is when I'm in a different tab working on a task, I can see right here, and it is calculating the time I have had this task open in my dashboard, and it tells you the hourly rate, and you can see the more time that passes by, my hourly rate goes down. So you can actually track how fast you're doing a task and what the hourly rate would be for that task. All right, and then this is just, normally this information, some of the tasks put it at the beginning, but normally it's at the end. This is just collecting demographic information for the research. I am female, I am 35, I don't have any comments, so I'm gonna leave that blank. And I want to point this out too, because I know a lot of people are gonna have problems with that. Normally it would give you a secret key right here, which you would then go back to your dashboard and put in this to submit it. But this, where this error is where the secret key would be. But this gives me an error instead. But it actually gives you the directions. It says if you do not secret code through the following, input the entire URL found in the address bar into this taskbar. So click on the URL of that page, copy it, paste it in this bar, and hit submit. You now see this green line that says your secret code is. We are just going to copy the code. You don't need to copy all the words. Copy the code, come back in here, paste the code in the secret, and I do a lot of copying and pasting. One, it's fast. Two, you don't want to mistype something and then get your work rejected and not get paid for the work that we just did. So before I submit this, I just want to show, this took me 13 minutes because I've been explaining it, which means it's $7 an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and not waste any more time and hit submit now that their code is in the box. So if we refresh this again, you can see I submitted one hit today. That one hit has already been approved. My hits reward was $1.50 and it's already been added into my total rewards. Now, why do I not see the $1.50 in my current earnings over here? Amazon only every few hours, they do it maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 times a day. But they don't do it automatically. Every few hours, they will refresh their system, and everything that's been paid out, they will add it into your current earnings. So there is a little bit of a delay, but don't worry. This has been approved, not rejected, so I will get paid that $1.50. Let's see if we can find more hits. So going back to the forum, this one, it says it's 50 cents. It doesn't take very long. So what we'll do, so we'll add it, we'll hit details, we'll copy the group ID. All right, we're done with this now. We can close this tab. Let's stop so we don't need to catch that again. So the ID we just copied, we'll paste, we'll save it. So now we have both Panda and Catcher trying to catch those. I'm going to delete this UP researcher that we did because we're not trying to catch that anymore. I try to keep my screens cleaned up just so there's not a whole lot of clutter. But then it's like moving on. So this is like what I do when I want to sit down and work. This one takes less than a minute. It's 15 cents. Why not? Let's add it. Details, copy, add to collect. So this is just kind of my process of how I do things. This says it's low pay, but it only took them a minute and 22 seconds for 20 cents, so why not? Let's add it. Details, actually I don't need the details and copy it, so it caught it. So let's just, and I can see I have an hour to complete that one, so let's just continue with loading up our queue here, and then we can go in and work while the catcher gods just work on finding me things. Easy, short, paid instantly, so let's add this one. Copy. Paste. This one only pays 20 cents. I think that's the one. Nope, this is different. Okay. This one, oh, it already caught it, so let's just go ahead and delete it. So now we have two things in our queue, both 20 cents each. So this is just the process of what I do. This one, it says it's fair pay. It takes 6 minutes for $1. So we'll just add it. Details. Whoops, cancel. Details, copy. We're gonna paste it in to catcher here. And then it's like moving on. Some of these are discussions. People have conversations too. This one pays $3.75 and they did it in 15 minutes, which is a $13 an hour rate. So we want that one. So hit once. Alright, copy. Let me make sure my volume's on because Panda Crazy and Catcher both will play sounds when it catches something. So another tip for maximizing it is you come in here, you add all these jobs. Now it was catching some stuff, so I do have some stuff in my queue to do. But if you add all these jobs while it is catching you something to work on, you can turn your volume up on your computer so you can hear the dings and sound effects and know when it catches something, and you can go clean your house, work on other projects. So this is my secret weapon. This is how I utilize these scripts to make the most out of Amazon Mechanical Turk. My process is normally I come to this forum, I load up my Panda Crazy and my Catcher with what I want to work from the forum, and then like say I've made it all the way to page 13 of the forum and I've got everything loaded and I have nothing in my queue. I'm waiting for Catcher and Panda Crazy to catch something. That is when I will come into Finder and start Finder and start and every time Finder finds new hits that it didn't show you before, it will ding. So that's why sometimes I stop. Sometimes it gets too fast for me. But that's why I will come into Finder and I will start finding things to add. So basically I just load up Panda Crazy and I just load up my Catcher and I just let it catch things. And so I just sit here and constantly work. You can see in this little bit of time we've been working and explaining. I've already made $1.90 for today. And so I will load these up and just work while it's catching stuff. So that is how you can make the most out of Amazon Mechanical Turk. Alright, that was a lot. Thank you so much for sticking with me. If you have any questions regarding Amazon Mechanical Turk, please leave them in the comments below. I will address anything that I can. Please share this video if you liked it. Also subscribe to stick around and become my friend and hang out with me when I post additional videos. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye guys.